have you here. We call this our Welcome Center, and this is the Joseph Smith farm, where the Joseph Smith senior family moved here in 1816 to Palmyra and then 1818 here to the farm. So we reach back a few years, and as you look out the window, it's almost like looking at a window of the past.
Just mention, I've enjoyed hearing it explained again so succinctly by Elder Weston. Let me just emphasize that what you see here is really the great and sacred and founding event of this church. The appearance of the Father and the Son to a 14-year-old boy, which in the Bible is not unusual. There were other boys who were called as prophets when they were very young. This statue portrays what took place in the grove of trees, as Elder Weston mentioned, which makes this among the very most sacred places for this church. And as a result, we have visitors who come here every year from many countries of the world and from many of the United States, because this, to quote our recent prophet, this is where it all began, right here in Palmyra. And it is also because of this event that we have commemorated it, so to speak, with the temple up the road, which we will see in a few minutes. But I can't overemphasize the sacredness of this ground upon which we are now because of this great and sacred event.
So this is, Mr. President, the most sacred of the sacred for the Mormon Church.
I would say it is.
The original log home was on, but it's restored. It was not here when the church got the property back after they came back to
So
Palmyra.
this is the actual home of Joseph Smith,
That's right, of the family.
founder of the Mormon Church.
Yes.
This one. Come, let's go.
This is an 1820 Bible, and it has the book of James in the New Testament, where Joseph read in verse 5 and 6 there in chapter 1.
This is the verse that you
That's-
quoted, the
yes,
one that inspired him to.
Yes, yes.
This is the actual Bible?
No, we don't have the actual
From-
Bible. It's of that period, but it isn't his Bible. Okay. So he talked about walking out here and walking into the
From
grove
there,
and having the experience and then coming back and leaning on the mantle and saying to his mother, I've learned for myself that Presbyterianism is not true. And we don't know what else he told his mother, but she quoted that and his having said that. So that's part of the experience here. The cabin, though, as you can see, is just very, very functional and provided for the needs of the family, but nothing extra. This was built really as a home for Joseph's older brother Hiram. He lived here with his wife for a period of time after the Smiths built the next home, the frame home that's just down the road a little ways.
And he had come from Vermont, you said.
They had.
Joseph.
They had 3 girls.
Now, Elder Weston, I was intrigued and very encouraged to hear your comments on Islam, because Islam is, in a sense, so misunderstood and
Very
almost
much.
demonized by much of Western traditional culture. There's greater understanding now, and the mention of the Prophet of Islam, because with Muslims it's exactly like this, because we believe that the Prophet of Islam was also in the same tradition of prophets receiving revelations, very consciously taking what was given, the message before him, and moving it forward and spreading the message of compassion, of purity, of good faith, and being a good neighbor and trying to improve the world. But unfortunately, there's always so much misunderstanding around religion. So I was very interested to hear that.
It's a wonderful thing. I've had a number of very good friends. As I did graduate work, I had one of my major professors in the laboratory I was working in was a Muslim, and we had a wonderful relationship. One day I was...
In terms of sociology, and we're looking at American society, this religion, this church is often called the American religion. What does that mean?
I think in one sense it's an attempt to, we all like to put concepts into boxes that we understand. This restoration of the gospel of Jesus Christ occurred in this community, and has grown out from this community. The members of the church moved west, really feeling that that was required in order to maintain their preservation. And but then from Utah, from Salt Lake City, they went out first to other parts of North and South America, and then across to actually into Great Britain, and then beyond. And now, I don't know how many countries in which we have missionaries, but we're in Indonesia and the Orient, and we have made strides into Eastern Europe and
Even in Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Yes. So what would you say is the total number of Mormons worldwide, and then the United States?
We are currently 13 million. Is that right? 13 million worldwide. In the United States.
I don't know what in the United States, but we would have more here in the United States than any other country, but large numbers in a number of the other countries, particularly Spanish-speaking countries.
No, it's interesting. I believe that I think the expectation is that we will soon be, there will soon be more members speaking Spanish than English.
Mormons.
Yeah.
So more Mormons speaking Spanish than English.
Right. Church is very well developed in Mexico, in South America, and with a lot of growth continuing. There's also a substantial amount of growth now happening in Africa as the church is being introduced to the various African countries.
Joseph Smith had a revelation where Jesus and his father, God, according to the Mormons, talked to him, and then in fact revealed the tablets which were then written up and translated into the Book of Mormons, which is the Bible or the sacred book of the Mormons themselves. And we are being taken there by the President Clark and Elder Weston, and the other president of this organization. So let's go to the sacred grave and discover.
We won't necessarily go in very far into the grove, but we'll go in far enough that you can. Beautiful forest.
Beautiful, beautiful forest. What are the trees again, Elder Weston?
Well,
These trees here?
This one right there is a maple tree. Those two, both of these are maples. There's some beech. Let's see. Well, these aren't beech. There's some ash, and the big ones back there are basswood. All native hardwood trees. There's some butternut hickories a little further, and shagbark hickories. Just beautiful trees. Some ironwood trees.
Well, this is really a historic site for the Mormons. This is where it all began. We are in the sacred grove itself, surrounded by these magnificent trees, where Joseph Smith saw his revelations. And this is where it all began.
This is where it all began.
Vision of God in Jesus Christ.
And it's a beautiful place. And a number of people like to come here, even not of our faith, and just say they feel a great peaceful spirit here. And so we maintain it. It's open all year round.
And do you have many visitors?
We do. Thousands and
Please
thousands.
say this to the camera so people pick up your message of
Absolutely. We are living in a world through which, through technology, has allowed us the opportunity to be as close as we want to be to each other, yet also has given us the capacity to build up, walls between us. And I am so grateful for the efforts of your efforts in making an attempt to bridge that gap, to break down those walls, to introduce us to each other in a way that is non-threatening and encourages us to really seek out the best in our respective cultures and marry them together in one larger world culture. And I applaud you and hope that you have great success.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. That is a beautiful message. Team, I hope you're encouraged, all you young Americans.